Hi guys, and welcome to this week's deep dive. We had a week off last week, but we are back. And this week I've got a very close friend of mine, actually, someone I've known for very many years, and you guys will know him as well because he has been interviewed by us on our channel. Not the deep dives, but some of the other videos we've had up and live launches in the past. So without further ado, let's introduce. Oh no! Before we do that, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell and you'll be notified every single time we go live right here on YouTube. And that includes when we upload new trailers for products to really keep you in the loop with what's happening in the magic world. So now, without further ado, let's introduce my special guest to the deep dive. Today is Mr. Collin Claus.
Hey.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Very, very good. And you?
I'm very well, thank you. So, Colin, before we get into talking about your new product, just want to say I've known you for sort of a lot of years. Obviously, you're good friends with Mark Spellman. I'm good friends with Mark Spellman. We shared a room in Vegas when we went on his stag do, and we've known each other for quite a long time. And in that time, I've seen you sort of go from cards to coins to cubes, and you just seem to master everything. I mean, you're like one of the best cubers in the UK, like for cube magic that I've seen. So give us a little bit about, because you are a full-time performer, but you've actually started up a sort of magic production company as well, producing your own effects and everything else. So tell us a bit about your journey and where you are now, Colin.
Well, as you rightly say, I've been a performer for the last 22 odd years and done many gigs, and I love being on the corporate secret and the corporate scene and the party scene. But I really love being part of the magic creative community. I've this started, I think, way back in 2012. I got together with Simon Alexander, and we started the Alchemy Tree together. I mean, it was his idea initially, and then he got me on board. And
Yeah.
that's really what the new project is going to go through. But from there, I started off, as you rightly said, with cards, and I love card flourishing and doing all the really hardcore sleights with cards. But I always found it really hard to carve myself a niche that was like me within that. You know, I was into my flourishing, and then I went on to coins, and then all of a sudden I kind of came up with the ghost technique, and that's and we released that with you, of course, and it's a project I'm really proud of. I never thought I'd get that into coins, and I definitely never thought that would be my one of my niches. And then after that, Kev G and I got together, and we started to play around with Rubik's cubes, and so now I'm into my Rubik's cubes as well. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's the three C's in it: cards, cubes, and coins. So and I'm really excited to be doing all of them, really. But I think it's really hard to make it as cards because there are a million card magicians out there. But
Yeah.
coins is a bit more niche, and Rubik's cubes is even more niche. So luckily, I've managed to carve myself out a niche in both of those.
So obviously we sell the Alchemy Tree downloads, and the responses to the Alchemy Tree downloads has always been great. The time and effort you guys put into filming your tutorials are second to none. It's they're so good. You've only got to read some of the reviews. So this latest release, once again, it's a download, and it's part of the Alchemy Tree collection. But this is focusing, like all of them actually, on a specific routine. But this will interest a lot of the Alexam viewers because recently I performed an effect on our shorts on YouTube, and we got a lot of questions about it where can I learn it, what are the coins and everything else. And that effect was a free fly routine. And this whole new project that you've put together is about free fly. So before we get into talking about it, Colin, why don't we take a look at the trailer and the performance of the routine?
Yeah, definitely.
Or of the project, should I say. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this.
If you're a coin magician like me, you know what sort of an impact 3-fly can have on your audience. It's a super strong effect, but as with all plots in magic, we're always trying to improve and come up with the best version.
What the heck is that?
Now, if you were to ask me what's my favourite version of 3-fly, then I'd boastfully have to say Schmetterling. It's on my project Ghost. It's ungaffed, but it's a bit of a knuckle buster. If you want to learn a version that's far easier, still has a strong impact, and that I use in my paid gigs, then I think you'll like this download. Now, the reason this version is so much easier is because it uses a gimmick. This project is all about the very underused TUC coin, which is exactly the same size as a coin, no bigger, no smaller, but it can very easily and very silently put you one ahead and one behind. And I think it was designed to be used with 3-fly. On this project, you'll learn a full routine where 3 coins appear one by one
doing it until they had a big crowd.
Invisibly travel across and then disappear one by one, leaving you clean at the end. I even show you how you can start with completely empty hands. As well as a live performance, I teach you 2 versions of this full routine. One that just uses simple sleight of hand, and one where I've substituted some of the easy sleights for slightly more difficult ones. We've also included several of the sleights as separate in-depth tutorials, including a basic version of my Ghost Vanish and Appearance. If you're new to coins, then this is a great lesson on how to properly routine a coin act. Or if you already perform a 3-fly, then I guarantee this will give you a few new ideas on how to improve your routine. Here's the unedited easy 3-fly. If you want to check out the performance version or the advanced version, then just go to our YouTube channel.
Let me show you something. You see, street performers back in olden times used these lovely silver coins to get the attention of passers-by. They gathered crowds by producing money from thin air and then watched as they travelled from hand to hand. Now, people think I cheat, but you just saw this coin start over here and end up over here. So watch again, from here to here, from here across, that quick. Now, of course, if you saw this on TV nowadays, you might think camera tricks, and if you slow it down, you might even see that coin go across. But remember, in those days, all they had was pure sleight of hand to make the magic happen. 3 coins, 2 hands, and nothing else. But wait, would you like to see the encore? Everyone wants to see the encore because it involves fire, which I have here. See, the audience used to gasp as they watched the first coin disappear into the flame. 2 coins. Now watch the second coin as it just melts away into one hand. And the last coin just disappears into the night sky, leaving him with nothing. And that is some street magic from many years ago.
This is Gimmick Part 1, a study in 3-fly.
That's so nice. I love the presentation and the story for it. It keeps it really well paced.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, it's kind of the same. If you know Schmetterling, which is my three fly that I put on Ghost, it's a similar type of presentation because for me that fits that sort of premise with the big old coins, and then and sleight of hand. But I kind of use that in that one and this one, but this version is far easier than, as I say in the trailer, this version is just far easier than the one I do in Ghost, because that one is a bit of a knuckle buster.
Yeah. So with let's just get this right, because we have got another download by you called Ghost, which is an ungimmicked free fly. Now, to perform what you're teaching on here, you do need a special gimmick coin that doesn't come included. So it's for people that own that coin, or for people that would like to get that coin. And you're using the TUC by Tango
TUC
Magic?
coin. Tango Ultimate coin. And it just works for three fly. And I don't think enough people use it for three fly. In fact, I don't see many people use the TUC very much at all. And I think it's a very underused gaff, and especially for three fly, as I say in the introduction on there, I think Tango made this coin to be made this coin for three fly, because it just, as I say, you can go be it one ahead, one behind, really silently, and because it's genuinely the size of the actual coin that it's the non-gaff version.
Yeah. And with things like the TUC coin, there are different coins available in the TUC style gimmick. But we were discussing this before, and I'm getting to love bigger coins more as I'm getting more confident with coins. Because as you know, I'm not a coin guy, but ever since the Mirage set, I've really
become
started
a coin
to,
guy.
I've really started to love my coin magic, and I've started to use bigger coins. In fact, I'm going to say it here, so this is a world exclusive. We have got a Mirage in dollar size coming out, which I showed you yesterday at the Magic Circle.
So excited about that. Really excited about it. It's just awesome. Yeah.
It's beautiful. But we're not going to talk about that now. But for free fly, bigger coins are better. The free fly I use is a dollar size. And they are better because it's just a little bit fiddly with smaller coins, and you just don't see as much. The bigger coins are very nicely on show. So what you're using the dollar one, aren't you?
Yes, I'm using the dollar one for this one. And in fact, I highly recommend the three fly is the Eisenhower dollar. You can get the Morgan dollar version, but it's stupidly expensive. I mean, it's lovely, but it's so expensive. Whereas the Eisenhower one's much cheaper. And I think it actually works really well. It just it's just such a lovely gimmick. And as I say, what's nice about this in three fly, and this is because I talk about obviously other three flies use a shell, for instance, but there's more noise. It's harder to get them apart, and they're more problematic. Whereas this one, you can really show three coins, and then you can go straight into that, boom, three fly. And then at that point, you can open both your hands out, and you've just got three coins. There's just nothing else. And you can handle it far more freely than you could a coin with a shell. So, and this is the other thing that this particular study is about, is routining of coin magic. Because I think one thing I've realized with coin magic is routining is the most important thing to make those routines have any impact. Because another problem with coin magic is because your audience is constantly looking at you going, well, which coin's the hand in? Is it over there? Is it over there? So this is where the routinely is so important. And that's what I talk about a lot on this project, and try and emphasize how important that is to making this a really strong routine.
Yeah, no, 100%. And these things are very, very important. Routining and structure of a routine. And, you know, your storyline, like I said, it's really great because I consider myself to be pretty good at coming up with pattern lines, but I've never really found one for free fly.
Yeah.
But until I've seen this, and then straight away it's like, wow, yeah, that's great.
Right, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's often hard with coins, and I suppose that's why David Roth, you know, when you hear even the oldies, you know, there's often not a lot of patter. It's just like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then watch the coin over here. It's because you have to concentrate. You know, you have to concentrate your audience on a certain area with coins, and that's why you can't help but it's a bit of a, you know, you're sort of explaining what you're doing as you're going, but just by having a little bit more of a presentation just makes it a little bit more interesting to watch, I think.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. The other thing I was going to say as well is that I was explaining this to you yesterday. The version of Free Fly that I use, you've got to be very accurate with how you're using the gimmick. If I haven't got it positioned right, it just ain't going to work. And so I've got to be very conscious of how I'm holding the gimmick, and whereas the version that you do there, it doesn't matter what orientation the coin is. With mine, it's very specific. It's got to be in this exact orientation, or that other coin ain't gonna appear. So I like the freeness of the one or the ones you do. So on this project as well, it's not just one version you teach, is it?
No, in fact, there are 3 performances. There's one live performance of me, and how I tend to do it live. And as I explained on the project, I never kind of do it the same way twice, because I know so many little versions that just depending on the situation, depending on the crowd, whether I'm allowed to use fire, whether I'm not allowed to use fire, just depends. And because it's nice to see a live performance, so you kind of get the beats of what it's like with an audience there. But the other 2 versions that I explain on there, one's the easy version, which you've just seen, which uses quite basic sleights. And then I've got an advanced version on there where I replace some of those sleights with slightly harder ones. And I think both of them are just suit different situations. You know, depending on whether you're a bit more surrounded, whether you've got to be a bit more careful with your angles, things like that. So, so there are three versions on there, and I really talk about the easy one. So, in our alchemy tree way, with the easy one, you've got all the close-up shots where it sort of goes into, you know, stops and starts, where it highlights various things you should be doing with the fingers as the routine progresses, and then then it goes into the advanced version and shows you that close up, and then right at the end there's a whole section on me doing it face to camera where I talk about the little nuances and how to perform it, and then and also the way to make it flow nicely.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to point out as well is the version that I perform cost me, and this was over 20 years ago, cost me nearly £300. Now, your download, and realistically, okay, the coins are silver, so it is going to have a bit more of a value to it. But the gimmick is quite simple, and with a lot of these things, you are paying for the routine. Now, the cost of this download as well, you've priced it really keen. What was the price on it? Is it $14.99 or something?
Yes, that's I think that's what we discussed. Yeah, definitely. and as I say, it's over an hour download, but it doesn't just have those routines on it. There are extra moves. So
because it's two videos you get.
Yes, 2 videos. So it's the basic routines, and then we had to. It's just easier to put all the extra moves on a separate video. So throughout, if you've seen any of the Alchemy Tree videos, if there's moves that aren't explained in detail, we explain them on a separate videos, because usually we make videos on, for instance, the JW grip.
Yeah.
There's also a basic version of the ghost technique. So that's for the advanced 3-fly, and a shuttle pass as well. And I think it's finger palm, and I think there might be one more. I can't think of it right now, but they're all on there and they're taught in detail. So if you're ever unsure about any of the moves, then Downs palm. That's the other one. And the Downs palm video, I'm quite proud of, because it's quite in depth.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. You always get great value for money with the Alchemy Tree stuff. It's very well taught. You cover absolutely everything. So even if you were to buy, go on, carry on.
Sorry, I was just about to say, actually, just while I remember, because I meant to say a couple of times, but your routine is the Bob Kohler version that you do, don't you? And you showed me that, or I think you described it to me in Vegas, and it's that move that you do at the end. And that move, I actually, I thought I'd kind of forgotten about that, but I watched the basic version again just now, and I realized that the move that you do at the end, where you sort of take the coin, where it looks like you're taking the coin, that one, I use it as part of a production at the beginning. So that kind of influenced that. And I've also realized that I've forgotten to, because totally forgot all about that, I've completely forgotten to credit Bob Kohler on the DVD. So I want to do that here and apologize for that. But yeah, that was one of the, when I first saw you do that, and, you described it to me, I just went, oh, it's genius. It's so nice. It is a really lovely routine. And because you performed it again recently, it was just, that's what reminded me. I'd completely forgotten about that version for years until, I saw you do it again.
Yeah, it's a great version, but, free fly is one of these tricks that I think everyone wants to do, and it's finding the right one. There's not many free flies out there, and you've got to be particular with what one you choose. I know, this one, like you said, you've got 3 versions on here. And free fly does take a bit of practice, but it's so worth it. So worth it. I'm really enjoying practicing with coins, really enjoying it. And I never thought I would, I'll be honest.
It's certainly very therapeutic. And as you say, the big coins, I love, the ones that I use for the, in Ghost, with these really big old Victorian coins. I love them. They're ever so slightly bigger than dollar coins, but they're gorgeous. They're just, you can see them here. They've just, and the feel of silver over sort of the cheaper coins, once you get used to silver, there's just no way you want to go back. You always want to do coin magic with this, with this size coin, because it's just so nice. And because so I think coin magicians learn quite quickly. The smaller coins are good, but as soon as you get onto the larger ones, there's something really tactile about them as well. And as I say, with silver, it's even better.
Even the sound and everything else. I mean, both, we've got a couple of projects coming out. Like I said, we have got the Mirage coming out in dollars, which is absolutely beautiful. But I don't think that's going to be officially released till next year. But we've got a new set by Craig Petty coming out at Christmas. And there's a coin in there, which I know you've got some, because we were talking about them yesterday. The Liberty Copper Round. What a coin. Yeah. What weight to it.
Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Really nice. Yeah, definitely. I mean, as I say, yeah, I've just really, I buy a lot of coins on eBay, just to try them out, just to see what difference they are. And I don't see many coin magicians use these. And I a good friend of mine, Ronald Davis, obviously, who a lot of people might have heard of, who makes a lot of these coins. He's really starting to work more and more with the English coins. So I encourage all English magicians to start using these coins because they're just lovely.
And what
Because
are
for
they?
me, they make more. These are these are English crown coins,
Right.
and there are two different types. I haven't got the other one here, but this is the one that most magicians don't use, and I think it's because they don't have the milled edges. There, if you look on the edge of this, there's no milled edges, but I don't find that a problem, even when I'm doing things like dance palm. I can still produce them quite easily from there. Like,
and they're solid
like
silver, those ones.
Solid silver, yeah. And you know, they've got some weight to them, and as you say, it's the sound as well. That they just, there's a lower clink to, beautiful clink to them, rather than that ting where you get from cheaper coins.
Yeah, really nice, really nice.
In fact, here you can hear that.
Yeah.
This is this is the American Eisenhower dollars, and this is that's the silver coins.
The silver ones.
Yeah,
they're great. But there's so much to think about with coins. I like I said, I never thought I'd be excited about coin magic, but I am now. I do love it. I do love it. And we were at the Magic Circle Dealers Day yesterday, and I had fun demonstrating Mirage coin set again. It's so good. But the study in free fly is great. Are there more of these sort of study sessions planned?
Yes, we've got Gimmick 2 coming out shortly. It's all filmed. I mean, I have to just say, actually, this three fly, and the performance was filmed back in, I think, either 2018 or 2019. So that's the performance, but that's when we kind of started to do it, but then it was just shelved, and then I ended up doing Ghost instead, because for me that was the perfect three fly without any gimmicks or anything like that. But it has more angle restrictions, whereas this has a lot less angle restriction, and this is the one I tend to do more if I'm out at a drinks reception or something like that, because of those angle restrictions, and because it's slightly easier. They're not knuckle busting slides that you're having to do, so the pressure's off a bit.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, Colin, I think that brings us to the end of this week's deep dive. I want to thank you so much for joining us and telling us about your new project. So you can pick that up over on our site now. It's called A Study in Free Fly. And it's by the Alchemy Tree. It's an instant download. Remember, you're going to get 2 great downloads as well. So not only are you going to get the free versions of FreeFly, you also get the toolbox where Colin teaches you all the different moves in detail as well. So Colin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Peter. Always a pleasure to come on with you. So thank you so much. And for, as I say, Alakazam has really been inspiring to me because you just released so much good stuff. And because you're, as you say, you're getting into coin magic even more, which just gets me even more excited about all the projects that you're doing at the moment. So it's great. I've been hassling you for anything new coins or cubes coming out. So thank you again.
Brilliant. So, Colin, we will speak real soon.
We'll speak soon. Nice one. Thanks.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this week's deep dive. You can pick up Colin's download over on our website right now, and it's only $14.99. And remember, I paid about £250 to £300 for my free fly. You can pick up the download, pick up the TUC, and you're still going to be saving yourself £200 on what I spent on mine, and you're getting free versions of it. So it's really great. If you like free fly, if you like what you saw in Colin's video, you're not going to get a better teacher than Colin in the alchemy tree. He really does cover absolutely everything. So before I go, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time we go live here on our YouTube channel. I'm popping away for a few days. Hopefully there will be a deep dive next week. If there isn't, there will be one certainly the week after, but I'm going to try and get one in so you've got one for next week as well. But have yourselves a great week, and don't forget to check out A Study in Free Fly and all the other alchemy tree products while you're on our site, because there are so many great ones there. So from me, Peter Noddy, and from the deep dive, you have yourselves a great week, and thank you for all your constant support and being members of the Alaka fam. See you soon.